As the city council heads into budget season, department heads are facing tough questions about their spending. The police department has been asked to come up with $92 million in cuts, something the superintendent says would have an impact. Police Superintendent Larry Snelling taking his turn in the budget hot seat today, telling city council members that the department is well aware of the current budget crisis and he realizes CPD will have to do its part, but he has concerns.
I want to be very careful and cautious about where we cut and what we do so that it doesn't affect the progress that we're making right now and the safety of the city.
Before the hearing, advocates gathered outside demanding that money allocated for unfilled police positions be reallocated for public health and community care.
So we have a system that is broken and we need to fix it. And the only place where we can find the money to fix it right now is in the police department.
There were concerns about police overtime as well.
I think when you've got a $1.5 billion deficit, you've got to look at every department. And so what I've called for isn't necessarily cutting, but auditing at the very least, right? Are we spending the money as effectively as possible?
The police department has already racked up $28 million more than the $100 million it's budgeted for overtime due to a multitude of major events. The superintendent saying organizers like NASCAR, which had its own inside security, helped defray police overtime, suggesting other event hosts might need to do the same. Snelling said he is concerned that meeting the suggested $92 million in cuts could hurt public safety, with the department already short nearly 1,000 officers.
We still have a lot of work to do. We're going in the right direction. It's going to take some time. And we just have to make sure that our department is properly staffed to get that done.
And while Snelling usually tries to dodge anything political, he did weigh in on the possible deployment of the National Guard to Chicago.
If the National Guard were to come here, if they were to come, I'd find a way to work with them, because what I would want is for all of the residents in the city of Chicago
to feel safe,
to have peace of mind that the streets are not being overrun or occupied with an occupying force.
Snelling also dismissed comments President Trump made yesterday when he called Chicago a death trap, saying he doesn't pay attention to stuff like that. He also noted that the mayor's new executive order on protecting civil rights of protesters is something that the police department is already doing. But obviously we're setting up for a budget season that is going to be very challenging for a lot of people, including the police department.
And all of those factors have to be worked out.
They do.
Just like that. That's what he said. That's what he said, man. And that's the thing, too. I feel like at the end of the day, they're trying to make budget cuts, right? So you're telling me that the CPD, Chicago Police Department, they were asked to come up with a $98 million budget cut to their city budget. Okay, cool. They need to come up with $98 million, which means what? That means you got to start cutting jobs. You got to start cutting overtime. You got to start telling people, hey, man, you can't work this long, which is a bad idea because we need them. They're in our cities, bro. They in the city, right? If they in the city, bro, we need them. We need them now. How we going? It's like the nursing field. If you need them, just pay them, because it's not like the need for the nurses need to be there, just like the need for the police. We need the fire department on them. They need to be there because the violence is so high, which contradicts what JB Prister was trying to tell everybody. You're telling everybody that the violence is down, but yet your police department is needed a lot. If the police department wasn't needed, then you can cut these budgets. Now you're saying that, we need you to cut these budgets. No. What really needs to happen is that y'all need to figure out where the violence coming from and target that. And then I like that also, was that the superintendent, whatever, he said that you need the National Guard, work with the National Guard, because you know why? That's federal stuff. They're paying them federally, so that's not probably coming out of Chicago's budget, right? So you use the National Guard, it's coming from the feds, which will actually help with this budget deficit. So now you can cut the police presence and use the National Guards for safety. When it comes to safety, you want safety for your city, then use the outsource that's trying to give it to you. It's free of charge. We're just here to help you, but no. JB Prister, Brandon Johnson, they want to fight. They want to be the resistance to help. They don't want to be helped. They want to say, we did this on our own, while telling us that we also need to cut budgets. So does that make sense to you? Let's cut the budget. Let's cut the budget and say that we need you to cut $98 million out of the police department, while saying that we don't need help with crime. isn't cutting the budget in the CPD only going to up the crime? You acting like the criminals like, oh, well, it's less police. Let's the violence dial down too. That's the thing. I think they promote in Chicago, and J.B. Priss is promoting in Chicago that over policing. Oh, we're being over policed, and that's the reason why the violence is going up. That doesn't even make sense. If there's more police, the violence goes up. I don't even understand that concept. That being said, if you were in a $98 million deficit and the police department has to take it out of their budget, that means they got to cut what? Extra activities that helps people. Detectives, they got to be cut. Patrol officers, no overtime. Bro, let them people work. We need the help. It needs to be here. This is why you should listen to Trump and just take the National Guard in. But you're so intimidated. Those police could be doing something else with their money, and then y'all can get your budget cut back under war. But what you have to do instead is try to allocate extra money to other people and then blame the CPD. It's not CPD's fault why y'all can't manage your budget. It's really the mayor and the governor's fault. But your pride is saying, oh, man, Trump's trying to send the national troops. I don't like Trump, so I'm not going to help my people. So we're all going to have to suffer because JB can't be a good leader. That's really what it is, and that's how you got to look at it, because that's actually what's going on. JB is not a good leader, so he doesn't want the help from the president, which is free to the state. You get what I'm saying? But you're also in a budget deficit, and you want people to make cuts to the same protection that you want instead of the federal protection that they're trying to give you for the free. Bro, what is going on? This is the problem. Everybody's getting so political that the people that suffers the most are the people that are us. The regular people on the street, walking the street, 9 to 5, middle class, lower class people. We the ones suffering, while the big guys, Prister, Mayor Johnson, suits on, protected. They got a whole detail of security while saying that it's safe while you walking up north early morning with your crew of security behind you. Then why is the violence high if it's safe? Right? Why would you need police presence if it's safe? And why aren't you denying the National Guard? See, this is the thing. This is how they trick us. They trick us, as in the black people, because the black people are the most confused. I understand why the immigrants are doing what they're doing. It makes complete sense. You're a sanctuary city. Of course, you're going to help the Hispanics, definitely if you're Hispanic, even if you're legal. That makes perfect sense. But for the blacks that are like, oh, anti-Trump, don't bring in the National Guard, you're not even speaking sense. We need the National Guard. It saves us money. And it makes us more safe. It intimidates the killers and all the bad people stop doing bad shit. They probably don't even have to do nothing. Their presence there just makes the people not want to commit violence because the possibility of being caught. While CPD don't have enough officers, y'all want to cut the budgets, which is cutting people's time off. It's the same, like I said, nursing. They want to cut the budget because the budget's too high, but then you need the help. So then put all the stress on somebody else. Man, this world is confused, and y'all need to open your eyes up, bro. I'm with the Flip Chicago Red agenda. I'm with the actually Flip Illinois Red agenda. I'm gonna be honest. We got to flip Illinois back red because I feel like we're losing ourselves. We're completely losing ourselves, bro, all because of pride. Your pride is what's going to mess you up. If you need help, ask for help. Don't sit there and be like, oh, man, they don't want to help me. It's not about you helping you. We got to work together. J.B. Prister, he's a threat to our state, and we got to get rid of him. All right? Mayor Johnson, too, but I don't intend on him staying too long anyway. It don't matter what he does. But Prister, he has to go. It's your boy Angelo Savage, man. Tell me what y'all think in the comments section. Make sure you like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.